Oh boy, I'll tell you, I bought some Coronas in memory of Scott. He loved Coronas. He used to say. Although he did something different. We were hanging out one time, me, Scott, and Larry, by the pool. Late afternoon, sun shining, weather was cool. We bought some Coronas, and Scott busted out a lemon. He's like, really? Not lime? He's like, nah, man. Nah, dude, you gotta fucking... Because lime's like, I'll do a lime in a couple of them, but they're very acidic. He's like, the lemon's better. Forgot to get lemons, so we'll get some more Corona and some lemons. And Scott was like, I never even thought to try that. Because the lime it's a strong flavor. He's like, oh yeah, the lemon's easier on it. It's got a nice flavor. The Corona needs a little citrus. I don't have any right now, but it's those little things you remember. Just going through these old videos, of him giving me shit and cracking me up and just being like a big brother. I think his death has hit me hard. When I moved up here, 7.5-ish years ago, March, it'll be 8 years, right? March 18th or whatever. I didn't know a soul, It's very lonely, the existence. And when I met Larry, then Scott soon after, we became this like Three Musketeers little group, We established the group text thing the last few years. And it's mundane shit, sharing, here's some gun parts that are in stock, and sharing memes and, stuff that you wouldn't think was anything worthy of caring about. But you go back through it now, and it's like, it keeps hitting me that, he's not on the other end of that phone anymore. And that sucks. It's a punch in the dick. Especially the way he went. He didn't look like a guy that was on the verge of death or anything. He was a little tired, and his heart was giving him, speeding up and giving him trouble. But he managed to find his way through, like I used to, taking aspirin. He just didn't look like a guy that was gonna one day just keel over like that. Just to show you never know. And it's going through old stuff. Scott and I we used to call each other at night. Just like, at one point, like every day we would talk. And I'd be sitting on the patio, and he'd be at his house sitting on the patio, and we shoot the shit and talk about bolt guns and calibers and politics and religion and what's going on in the world and how fucked up the whole damn planet's getting. And, we'd get Larry on the phone and shoot the shit. And we just had this kind of like, like a brotherly vibe, And I appreciated that, We just talk. We'd be on the phone like old biddies, man. It'd be like 1 a.m. We'd look down at the phone timer. It's like we were on the phone like 4 hours and 38 minutes. Like, holy shit. You're just yapping about shit, talking. I was grateful for that. You don't feel as alone, in the world. It still hits me hard. Sometimes I'd really piss him off and shit, and I keep forgetting shit he told me. And you get that glare, that Scott glare, like, you stupid motherfucker. Oh boy. All these things start popping in this week, thinking about that stuff. Yeah, I miss him already, He was a good dude. It's hard for me to say was, not is, Scott was. It just doesn't feel natural yet. It's weird. You can count your real friends on one hand, my grandmother used to say when you die. Like real friends. Like ride or die motherfuckers you can call at 3 a.m. Don't ask any questions, bring a shovel. And they're like, alright, motherfucker, you owe me one, that kind of shit. Theoretically, I'm saying. Not based on any factual events. But you know what I mean, right? With that one time my lawnmower got stuck and I was like, I fell into the hole and I couldn't get it and I couldn't move it and I ended up calling Scott. I'm like, dude, I don't know what to do here. My shit's like this. Like I couldn't move it. Stuck in the hole. He drove over. He helped me push it out. You know, he was doing his own lawn at the time. I'm like, thanks, brother. I'm sorry to call you. He's like, no, don't worry about it. I got you. You know, it's that kind of stuff. Has it been a full week since he died? I gotta go back and check the date. When Larry texted me the morning after. I'm not sure when that was. Was it Wednesday? Today's Thursday, going on Friday. I think it's been a week. Yeah. Weird. Death. It's so final. Especially when it comes out of nowhere. You're not planning for it. You know, somebody dying of cancer, like I've said. A long, drawn-out thing where they're getting treatments and then they get stuff. They get better and then get worse and get better, get worse. And then they get to the point where it starts to take control of them. And you see the pain and the suffering that they're going through. And then when they do pass away, you're still heartbroken, but you're glad their pain is over, you know. That's one thing. But when somebody go from one day they're fine, the next day they're gone, it's just a shock. You can only imagine what his family feels, you know. It sucks. I don't know. This existence is strange. Anyway.